Hey everyone, welcome along. Welcome to Steelhorse Station. It's a little bit chilly here in Melbourne tonight, so we've fallen out of the back of summer through autumn to the start of winter. Even had to turn the heater on. But that had a great Easter. Oops, it'll work a lot better if we put the microphone across where people can hear us. So I hope everyone had a nice Easter. Jason, welcome along. Great to have you in, sir. We might jump straight across to the Oaks. Let's see what we've got here. Now, if we click that on there and do that there like so, then we should be able to go to the Oaks and jump on in. Yes, it works much better with the mic actually in front of me. These directional mics have a habit of working when you actually got them pointing in the right direction. I wondered why I was so out in the open. So here we are on the map. So I've rolled forward into April. And we pop in now up at the cow farm. So that'll do for a start. Now let's see. So we've got, well, we're in an unusually good position. The best position we've been in fact. So you'll remember from last time, we were doing a bunch of contracts. We still have the contract on field 5, which was that huge, right there, in fact, that huge sowing contract for about 117,000 putting canola into field 5. So we're about halfway through that. So we'll start that up. I've got a sneaking suspicion the tractor there needs some fuel. So we'll jump over and fuel them up. I grabbed then, when I rolled the day over, a couple of contracts to put corn in fields 58 and 3 because I wanted to use the big Horsch planter that we'd got for exactly that purpose. And I was worried that they might disappear on us. So we can do that. And I also grabbed a couple more fertilizing contracts while they were available because they looked like they were pretty lucrative. So we're at our max of having 5 contracts. Remember, the rationale for setting the max at 5 was we've got 5 kids, so they can do 1 each. And then that leaves me free to do 1 piece of work myself, being sort of the Harold equivalent. So let's jump back to the farm. Where are we here? You are on this field. Oops, the steering wheel's playing funny buggers again. There we go, jump into there. So what I can probably do is, what are we planting on field 5, which is where I am just at the minute. Field 5 is getting canola, right? So if we put canola in there and cancel that course out because you're on field 4, and start you off. But the difference being, we'll do what widths have I got there? I'm tipping that's 4 headlands around there. So what was it, 6? I probably did 3 widths of 6, so that's 18, so it's probably 5. Let's do 5 headlands. but we'll start on the headland and generate that course, which is hiding underneath there. It's actually thinking about it. It'll eventually get there. There we go. It was a tough question. So if you start, you're going to start something like so. And then we'll go across to the yard and we will grab you. Grab the ute and grab the trailer that we emptied out last time. Or at least I did. Put some fertilizer in it, but we used pretty much all of our excess fertilizer getting those last fertilizer contracts done. Now we can pop the fuel in there. Send you to field 5. Five east might be as good a spot as any. I don't know where you're going, but that'll do. Now, yeah, so this is the horse that we want to get going when we get a chance. I think 5465. So the interesting question will be, how much horsepower do we need to pull the horse? Planters, planters, planters. Let's try looking at ours. 180. So we'll need at least the bigger, one of the two bigger tractors, the 3670 or the Fence, to do that job. So that's okay. We'll get to that in a bit. Let's have a look at our fertilizing contracts. Yeah. Well, I liked that when I saw it. And so I'm hoping that, and particularly because it's a 9-meter planter, and so these are the two fertilizing contracts that we've got up here. And if I go to there, why will it have to come down this way? Because I'm pretty sure I got a vehicle over here somewhere. I've got once we were doing the fertilizer, we were spreading liquid fertilizer on field 22, and I'm pretty sure I sent it to field 37 because my rationale was that because it's a bit of a funny shape, that'll be one I can do myself, and then we'll flick it across to do 36. So on field 22, I managed to get the route working back to the cow farm so it can fill itself up with fertilizer quite capably, which is good. There it is there. So let's pull out 1986. Let's expand. So there's quite a few things in the plan today. Obviously do a few more contracts. Let's see where we can get this cash balance to. We will need to pay a little bit off the off the loan, of course. I want to, and in fact, looking at this tractor reminds me, I want to switch one of the sheds in the cow farm up here. There's two sheds in there that are the same. And I want to switch one of them for a service shed. Now I've noticed that this sprayer has a really interesting feature that I haven't seen before. So you'll notice it's not firing all the way to the edge. So if it detects an area where it doesn't need it, it actually spot applies the fertilizer, which is not what I was expecting. I noticed it when I was running it on course play before, but you can see it going there, right? It's only applying on the left because we've done on the right, and then it opens right out. And I don't know whether that's unique to this sprayer. I do have precision farming. That's how you can tell. Oh, you can't tell on the left-hand side. But I've never seen it do that I can recall, or that I noticed with fertilizer application. I've seen the spot spraying on weeds, but not automatically turning on and off segments of the boom on a fertilizer sprayer before. So well, that was a pretty cool feature. Of course, on a contract field we don't get the same level of detail precision farming that we normally would get. Welcome along whoever's just popped in. We're just doing a smallish contract to start. Yeah, well, it was really interesting. So, you know, if you think about that, where you get that sawtooth pattern on the edge of fields, and if I use the regular dispersion spreader, then you spray quite a lot on the overlap, whereas here it turns itself on and off. It's really kind of cool. Now that would sound like we've potentially arrived across to fill up our fuel. So what I might do is just pause that there. Let's zip back here. You can't go anywhere until we put fuel in here, or you can, but let's try and figure out where our fuel's arrived at. There it is. And over there is where we need to go. So I was talking about the shed. So I want to switch out a shed when we get all of the vehicles up and working here. I'm thinking that I want to buy a truck. We'll check in the sales whether there's any other equipment, but kind of keen to maybe not completely replace. Whoops, let's try there. Will you refuel from there? Too far away. Come on, over you go. There we go. Get it in the right spot and it works a treat. And that's full. Yes, I'm thinking the D754. So a similar truck to what we had, but the one that allows us to just get a few different bodies that we can switch. Here's my thought. So he'll go there. Let's see where. Can't see where the other one is. We might leave the fuel truck over here. Might be a good idea. But it looks like we need seed back here. So let's go grab the 5465 from the yard. And it can bring the seed tender down. Why are you not letting me jump to that? Try again. No. I know I've got a tractor in the yard there. Why can I not? What is going on here? Vehicles. Let's try turning those on. There it is. Try again. Okay. Very strange. Yeah, it's not the one I want. This is the one we want. And right, pull these alongside. Yes, we can. So I'm thinking about 4 bags of seed will be. Maybe we'll do 5. Should be enough. The silage we've got in our pit is also ready to sell when we need some cash. The grass is not yet ready to cut, so there's no rush to be selling that lot off. Okay, 5,000 litres should be plenty in there. And we will send you to let's go to 5 south. So he'll take a little while to toddle down there. We can go back to doing this field. So the only downside of this sprayer is that it's slow. But I think the trade-off of it being pretty good at managing its usage makes it very worthwhile. So we'll get through this fairly swiftly, I suspect. The other thing we need to make sure we remember to do, the chickens that we put in are eating through the grain that we had, so we're going to need a few bags just to get them through till harvest time. And what else was on my list of things to do today? I wanted to, I'm interested in people's points of view. I know a few folks will catch this on replay, so we won't be making any decisions today. But looking at how the contracts have been helping us generate cash, I started to sort of think ahead about the coming harvest season, and we've lined up pretty well to be able to get our crop in. We've got a fairly large crop. We'll probably be looking to pick up a bigger header if we can. Sorry, a bigger or a second harvester, probably, and a second-hand one ideally. But that shouldn't be a ridiculous expense for us. And then what I was thinking about was, okay, so the big crops in the area, do we buy some more land ourselves, and you know, the step in price to the next field is somewhere north of $250,000, or do we buy a big piece of equipment that allows us to take on more contracts with the hope that through the course of the harvest season we can generate enough to get the field that way? And in particular, the angle I was thinking of, would we buy a self-propelled sugar beet harvester? Now obviously in the ideal situation one might come up second hand, but even new, we're not that far away now at, you know, 250 grand as an example. 500 would set us up quite nicely, and because of the rule we're playing with here, part of my rationale was, well, we won't get offered equipment with the contracts, but if we had our own sugar beet harvester, we could, so there you go, see, it's running the partial sprays out the side as we cross over. It's very cool. We could do our own, you know, or do sugar beet, which would give us heaps and get us into the sugar beet operation, which then sets us up to have a field potentially in our area. So just a thought. Yeah, my regular play style, Jason, I'm a bit like you in that respect. I tend to always go for the lands, and to be honest, that's why I thought, well, actually maybe it is time to do something a bit different. Maybe the Putneys would do it a little bit differently. They've got the labour, which I don't normally have. Maybe getting set up to go that way might be the go. Now, clearly we don't have to make that decision for several months. I can't remember when it comes about, but where are we here? If we go to planting windows, sugar beet harvests not till September, so that gives us several months to see if something comes up second hand. I think if something comes up second hand, as long as we could find a way to get the cash, I think it becomes something we should do. If it doesn't, then it becomes a much more marginal, you know, what are the other competing decisions at the time sort of question. At least that's the way I'm currently viewing it. Well, and that was the it's funny you mentioned that was kind of the not so much the family-based contract companies, but more the, rather than more farm, because we've got cows and we've got chickens, and we're you know, buying back land, or we're trying to round the family manor, you know, maybe they would be looking to, particularly with contracts being successful, getting more equipment that would open up the possibilities. So yes, yep, I completely agree with that, Jason. Contracts are a means to an end, generally, for me. The way you know, they're a way to break the cash flow crunch. But for longevity, ideally you want to be working your own land rather than someone else's. So we'll see. Now, our seeders probably, we know one at least has run out. Let's go and investigate. Almost finished this field. What's it going to be? It's going to be like 3 more length. Get to the end here. And then we'll spin around. Well, I'll stop at the end. Because what are we up to? 56%. There you go. There's the message I was waiting for. So our seed has arrived at field 5. So that's probably a good opportunity to fill both the planters. The other thing, having the variable jets on, is it enables you to do this, and but also give you a better idea of how straight you're tracking with no penalty for just going a little bit crooked. So let's jump back here. So you're going to need filling up in just a second. And from memory, that's a bit fiddly. You definitely need filling up. So where is this guy? Yeah, as I said, I don't know, Jason, if that's the mod or it was just part of the precision farming update that came recently. Like this, so the 1.9, is it 1.9 we just got patch? Had a precision farming patch in it. I don't know if that included it. One of those as yet undocumented features. Get seasick driving over the furrows up there. Where is he? He's round the corner and far away. This is quite a large field, this field 5. Come on, round you go. Well, that was the reason we bought that sprayer, is because it came with that spray feature fitted to it. We didn't have to pay extra for it. So not only did we get it secondhand, but it had that herbicide spot spray or whatever, sea spray or whatever it is, already fitted. So it was a pleasant surprise. But I'm going to have to go and try a sprayer now from somewhere else to see if that's a general thing or not. Now, where is this tractor? He got further down here than I expected. I suppose I could look at the map, but pretty much guess that I drove the wrong way around the field. Always the way. Yeah. Now what we're going to find is that if I'd turned right, it would have been just beside me there, and I'm going to do 90% of a lap here to, oh, there it is over there, to find the tractor. At least this way the gill will be empty by the time we get to it. If I remember correctly, the gill's really awkward to fill out of this. Oh, it's closed. Yeah. Remember which tractor I want to get in. There we go. So that's that. Now you can get in there and off your toddle. Now he's not at this end, so that means he's by all accounts run out the other end, or he's driving towards us, would be my guess. At least I can just follow the white line here. Really is quite disconcerting, the camera bobble as he drives across the field, isn't it? We might stay with the wide shot. Yeah, from memory, this is painful to load because the auger's not long enough. And is that the setting for camera bobble? I've got no idea, to be honest. Let's have a look. Vehicle control. It's not something I normally notice, and it's therefore not a setting I regularly play with. What do we got here? Zone markers, balers, mulches. Can't find it. It's got to be in there, doesn't it? Vehicle control. Don't know where it is. Camera, there it is. Reset vehicle camera. If turned on the indoor camera, so it's off. So I've got them all off, so it shouldn't actually be doing it. Oh well. Who knows? He's now run out and he's up the other end of the field. I think it's less about the seat and it's more just because the suspension's pretty stiff, the back of the tractor just gets that sort of regular motion bumping across the field. And that's what causes it to jiggle. I suppose if we went... Yeah, see, it's actually not as bad if I'm in cab. Right. Now, how are we going to do this? Can I get... Yeah, so he's folded up. Well, let's kind of got to get in like, get up, get up, get up. I remember I did this before, because if you do that, the best known reasons of the mod, there's so many collisions on that back section. And now the angles are wrong. Let's just turn you off for a second so we can actually see what you're doing. Yeah, see, the mod won't actually, like, I can't lower the cedar without unfolding it. There's no, because all I really want to do is just put it on the floor. Oh, and it doesn't let me. It instantly wants to raise it. So I think the way I had to do this before is cheat a little bit. Pull you around this way. A little bit of manual configuration so that now when I lower it, grip forward a fraction. Come on. There we go. And now I can load it up. Thankfully, it's got a reasonable volume. So now it fills up. There we go. And so now if I pull you out, I don't have enough horsepower to pull you out of there. So close the lid, fold you up, back out of there. Thankfully, we don't have to do that very often for this field. I think that's the second time I've filled it. So let's get you out of the way, put the auger back. So we either need another way to fill it, or a different speeder. Let's pull you off to the side because I don't know where you'll be needed next. You can just pop there. You've got a ways to go. Oops. That's the one I wanted. $450. We're going to be just short. Reckon. Do much better if I track straight up the field, wouldn't it? Right. Clear up the clutter a little bit. So field 36 is the one, I think, just in front of us there. Looks like it's crabbing sideways across the field. There we go. It's a bit squarer. And John Senior, welcome along, sir. Hope you have had a pleasant Easter in the UK. Got Jason here. I think there's one or two others potentially lurking, which is lovely. And we're just finishing off another fertilizing contract, hopefully. And observing that this sprayer has, whether it's precision farming that's changed or the mods that's changed, but the variable functionality appears to work with fertilizer as well. As see, you'll see the sections popping in and out on the right side there. Fertilizer as well as herbicide. We're about to run out here. Two more strips will finish this one. What we might do, just while we're driving down, we can set this up because we want to pick up, bring it back to, what are we, field 37 here, I think. Yes, 37 west. That'll be what we want to do in a second. 59 litres. Our visitors from Texas have headed back to North America, and so they're about to be replaced by our niece, who is, as we speak, on the big bird winging her way from the UK. So let's fold you up. Her first solo trip away from home, so no doubt she's extremely excited. We'll be pleased to see her sometime tomorrow. Okay, which way does it want to go? Wants to go that way. So you can go and do that. No, it wants to turn around. Okay, you can go and do that then. Let's try going to the liquid fert silo. Outside the edge of the map. Good-o. If we jump across to the yard, we can do the job that I wanted to do next anyway, which is... So I'd been thinking for a while about we need a workshop up here in this yard, and we need a bigger workshop anyway. The one we've got at the Putney farm is not very flexible, and as it turns out, these two sheds, this one here and this one, are the same, and so exactly the same, in fact. And so what I'm thinking is take this one away and replace it with something that looks almost exactly the same. So let's put it down here where we can see it. So it's 3 bays, drive through, very similar style. The difference will be is that the roof line will run in a different direction, but it'll pop in just along the side here. Which way do we want it to go? It doesn't matter. But it'll fit just in here somewhere. And give us a workshop. And it's being just a little bit smaller than that shed, it'll actually improve maneuverability around the yard. It is like the one at the shop, so that was kind of part of my rationale. Is it definitely in keeping with the map. So I think it goes better over here because we can drive right through. There's our fertilizer truck. Fertilizer tractor. So we can see he makes his way around. Try and keep the... There's a tree just in the... right in the wrong spot there. Let's try from that side. So he'll pop up there and fill. Like so. At least he should have. If he did, that was very quick. Let's just make sure. Where are you? You're coming around here. You're going to come out this gate, aren't you? You did not. Why did you not fill with liquid fertilizer? Yeah, worked perfectly. on the other field a day or two ago. Unless the liquid fertilizer tank's not empty. If it was, it should have just stopped there. Maybe it's because I didn't have course play on. There we go. Very odd. So we'll send him back. So try again. Oh. Which course are you on, you doofus? And why have you got digestate load now? I've managed to open up everything. Now I can't find... Where is the cow farm? Double cow. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. Leave you open because we're using you. Not using you. Not using you. Who knows, John? Who knows? YouTube has a mind of its own sometimes. New farmer farm is not what we're doing. Putney cow farm is where we are. Liquid fert silo. Right. Now I want you to go. To there. That should be good. Right. Now we can get back to doing our shed. So this is the shed we want. So let's demolish you. Oops. Do I want to sell big barn? Yes. Okay. It's a big space. So now we want this one because that's the drive-through, and doesn't really matter which way round it goes. Oh, that's strange. I put the ad up ages ago. Oh, well, ages ago, hours ago. So 10 hours ago, maybe 9 hours ago, something like that. So that's going to fit quite neatly in the middle there and leave room to swing on both sides. And I reckon that's pretty square. I reckon that angle there is about where we want to be. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. So we've got a workshop, plenty of bays, a bit of a bump in front of there, which we can just massage down a little bit. That's that bit. Rightio. I might actually modify that gate so that it swings back around. But I think that works well. Cool. Let's go back. You've got plenty of seed for the minute. Canola takes a while to go through. Maybe at New John. Now, where are you? You're almost at the field, which is what we want. We'll stop you right about there. While you pull to the right like that, but get out of his way. Open up the boom. And next time back to the yard, we can do some maintenance. Jealous computer, yeah. Yes, could have been. Could have been. Let's go up this long bit here. What are we up to? 75%. So the next thing we can look at is what equipment's on sale. And we need to fix the bank balance. What I was thinking is because we made a profit on switching which was not intended, on switching the shed for the workshop, that we'll flick the rest of that back against our loan. So because we're doing quite well financially now. Yes, exactly. The way we used to play Monopoly, lots of the fines and things went into a pot on free parking. If you landed on free parking, you collected. There was lots of Monopoly played in my household growing up. A little bit played here with my own kids. Yeah, it's funny how families have different rules. In different games. Oh, it's a bit chilly. Excuse me, bumping the microphone. Now, I saw mention Virtual Farmers moving his realism experiment to the Oaks. Yes, I have two on actually, John. I've got my winter attire sorted today. It is definitely taken a turn for the chilly. Not overly unusual. The weather will go back to being mild in all likelihood. Yeah, inching towards the double ton. I need to thank everybody that's regardless of the subscriber count, just it moves at whatever rate it moves, but people are watching. We're well into the 3,000 hours of consumed videos, so thank you. There's a few of you out there that are watching a fair bit of the stuff that I put up, so it's very kind of you all, and much appreciated. But yeah, I'm not expecting YouTube to feed or clothe me anytime soon. Contract on field 37 is complete. Well, that's very kind of you. Just make the turn because I think we should. Right, so that is that field. So let's fold you up. With any luck, 2,800 is going to be enough to get pretty close to the one next door. Let's put a little here. We need do that. One of those two headlands will do. Up and downs, generate the fieldwork course. Start on the center. Escape. Start the job. And then here we need field. Oops. Why are you misbehaving? Okay, the mouse is going berserk. Let's get out of there. That's better. Too many instructions. Field 36. South, probably. Liquid fertilizer. Turn that to course plate. Turn that to first waypoint. Off you go. Where is the first waypoint? We'd have more chance if I turned them on, wouldn't we? You're coming back that way. That'll do. Right. So he's going to be chuffing. So I suspect we're going to need to do seed again. I'll just make sure he starts out over there, out of the way. On he goes, and off he goes. Excellent. The correct field. So we should go up to 1% in a minute. Let's go and complete our contract for field 37. And then there's still plenty of contracts There's even a bunch of weeding contracts, which I don't feel compelled to worry about for the moment. Plenty of seed in the gill. Even plenty of seed in that one. So what we can do is have a look in the shop. So that was the other. There's a second horse maestro available, which I'm just not sure if we can justify having two on the farm. There's a lovely big crone, which is still beyond us. Now, 68 horses. It's cheap, but it's probably one size smaller than what I think having a good wheel loader would be really handy in the yard, given that sort of the core silage business that we're in. But it's 68 horsepower. It's not much of a step up from our little tiny 240. It is a fair bit heavy. It's twice the weight, which would help. What do people think? See, my inclination is wheel loaders. We'd be better off in this sort of terrain than down here. In fact, that's even smaller again, isn't it? $106. What is that? $639. How am I being offered a wheel loader that's not in the list? Maybe it's in front. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so it's just a little front loader. Yeah, these too small. So that's the little bale. Oh, that's the 3 bale stacker, which is kind of pointless. So there's nothing in the equipment list with the exception of the horse that we've already got one of, and it's just until we've got more tractors that could really pull it, it's probably questionable about. We'd be much better off putting the money into another tractor. So the other thing that I was looking at was one of these. Because ultimately I think this is a 200 horsepower is just a slightly better proposition than our didn't want the front 3-point back hitch. I want, and that than our Fiat. So if you have a look at our Fiat, which I've had a few little issues with. Where are we? No. He's sort of 10% less horsepower, but he's kind of locked in to that tray configuration where if we went with the 754, we've got all of these backs, one of which we've already purchased. Which one? We bought one of these second hand. So there's a whole range of options potentially for it, at least, and not limited to, and that's a diesel one, although that would be potentially useful rather than the bin we're using. But I was specifically thinking the animal feeder would then get us into the cows. And still having the ability to put a reasonable sized tipper back on it and have it tow trailers and the like. So what do people think about that? I was kind of hoping, because I'd bought one of these, that one would pop up in the store, but you can bet your bottom dollar it'll happen the minute that that we buy one full price. We're doing quite a good job on that headland there, aren't you? John thinks it's a good idea. Jason, what do you reckon? You have a view one way or t'other? Well, I'm thinking about it. That's the one I want. And so I'm thinking I'll pay a 50 off. So we want to take the loan back to 817,500. There we go. I don't feel like it's closing off another option at this stage. I mean, there's nothing else in the second-hand sales where we've got a pretty good combination. We'd buy another 200 to 250 horse tractor if it came up in the sales. But we've also got, what have we got? There's another 200,000, 250,000 worth of contracts that we're just in the process of finishing. So I'm feeling like financially for April, we're in a pretty good place. That's my rationale. And part of what I was thinking was with this back that we've got already for it, the sprayer back. We could see how that goes. It's only 16 meters, but that would allow us to continue taking advantage of some of these fertilizing contracts while we use the tractor that's currently pulling the John Deere to do the planting. So that was kind of my thought process. And g'day, Jason Rowe. Welcome in. So I'm thinking that's kind of 2 votes from chat, 1 maybe, and then me, and I'm kind of leaning in that direction. So then Mark Haythorne won't, unless he's lurking, hasn't leapt in to tell me off for spending the money. So I'm thinking that it'll be in the garage before he knows it. Oh, we do it. Do we want to put a design stripe on it? Wheel setup. Narrows, definitely don't want. Well, ultimately the fiat will go. In the short term, I just figured with harvest season coming, it might be handy to have a little guy that can the extra carrying capacity, because we don't have another trailer yet. And that's also on the list. We don't need GPS. I do want the back hitch. British Racing green. Design color should be... No. What did the design color not... How bizarre. So the design color isn't actually the design color. Who knew? So what's the design? We don't want the German flag. If I'm doing spraying, I need narrow tires. If I'm doing early season fert spraying, I reckon I'm fine. I think we'll go with that one. And the rim color, is there a... They look pretty ugly, but they'll do. What's the green rims look like? That'll do. Let's buy one of those before we change our mind. Escape. So, oops. Let's try hitting the correct key. Now, we do have... There we go. Well, I already noticed... Yeah, just when I'm in crops, exactly. And I'm not planning to use it so much as a tractor substitute. It's more for haulage. It just has the ability to do what we're talking about here. Now, if we've got a fert contract there, what's the biggest fert contract? Field 7 is, so we'll accept you. And then send you field 7 north. Let's go fill you up with fertilizer. So you actually need to go to Putney Cow Farm, the fert silo, off your toddle. Let's find out how it performs. But he's doing all right. He's going to need filling up shortly. He's not going to get all the way around, I don't reckon. So while we're here, I reckon based on the shape of the field, we shouldn't have to fill the gill again. Take you past. What's the... You're down to 110 litres. I'm getting better at reading the display I put on at the bottom to actually tell me where it's up to. Just not quite used to it, that's all. So I reckon if I stop for him up here, and do a ride along. And you get up pretty close. You've almost finished the... Oops. Right. Ah. Helps if I turn the correct piece of automation on, and that's all right. We'll just do a loop. Fill you up. Which you are. Back you up. Oh God, I went back into that tractor again. How many times? There we go. There we go. And nearest waypoint, and off your toddle. Have to keep an eye on you because you're going to probably go to the wrong part of the course. We don't want him attempting to reseed what we've already done. Yeah, we didn't set... I'm just thinking we didn't set the speeds for the truck, so we might want to do that. Fairly healthy clip. The only downside is that it's left-hand drive, whereas the Fiat, which Cranky very kindly pointed me at, was right-hand drive. Now it's going to get very confusing if the two Jasons are going to have a conversation here. I don't know how many of you in chat are watching the Silver Run series, but I'm having I'm having a lot of fun reconfiguring the map to suit the storyline, and I made some good progress this week, although it'll be a few weeks before it kind of makes the episodes in extending or figuring out how to deal with things that map object hider won't deal with. So when you open up some other areas of the map, it introduces heaps of potential possibilities. Let's fill you up. Is there enough? This could be interesting. Is the trigger? Have I got anything in there? Yes, you have content. So where is the trigger? There it is. That's just the beginning, John. Oh, wow. Now, I think what I'm going to do is somewhere around here, refill silo. Just got to be careful how many I choose. Yes. Yeah, refill you. Let's just say, imagine if the roller coaster wasn't there, and leave it at that. So, what we want to do is send you to field 7. Which side are we on? Let's have a look at the map. Saving. We want to go to field 7. Probably south from here, I'd reckon. South. Yeah, there's a car in front of you. And he's not moving. It's that really pesky Citroen. Pops up on all the maps. Oh, now we're going to have some other settings here. Unload fill levels, fine, avoid fruit, automatic refueling, no, automatic repairing, no. Right. Apply. Oh, there's deer. Yeah, I'm not a, well, it just didn't fit with any story. I assume you're talking about the roller coaster. It didn't fit with any storyline that I could think of working up. And it's a different proposition, I guess, if you want to do a whole bunch of logging and buy into all of that side of it. And the only reason I was doing logging on Silver Run was to get trees out of the way to make fields. So I think we've got a pretty reasonable farm coming together there now. We're going to have a pretty busy harvest season. What, we got about 7 or 8 fields going, so coming along nicely. Right. Barrio 924 is not behaving itself. Oh no, he is behaving himself. He's run out, and so now he should head back. Hopefully this time he will fill up properly. Let's just follow him for a little bit. He should find his way to the edge of the field, all right. 36 South is just over there. As soon as he's done with this field, we can go and get him started on planting contracts that we've got lined up for him. Come on. Yep, you found your way to the wait point. Yeah, where are you going? Why are you heading back to the field? Sometimes I found it does this. It's almost like it forgets it was empty, and now it's going to go back and attempt to start. It's then going to realize it's empty, and it's going to go back to the end of the field again, and then it'll be in the right sequence. And so now it should go to the, I probably missed a step starting it off, which is why it's just untangled that. So where is the wait point there? Yeah, there's the wait point. No, it's not happy. So, let's see if we can force you to go to the... Oh, you're not going to fill up. You worked beautifully the other day. I got it to fill twice doing filled 22 all on its own, no intervention whatsoever. You are really confused about something. Exiting the field, yeah. Hang on, have I got the wrong pick up and deliver? I have. That's what the problem is. I need load. That's the one I want. Works much better when you have the right setting. So for those that didn't follow what I was doing wrong there, so I had the wrong instruction. I was doing pick up and deliver rather than load. So we wanted to load from the fert silo and then take it to the field, and then once it's at the field, Courseplay will pick it up and tell it what to do next. And I had it going back the other way around, which is why I was getting terribly confused. Right, so now we should be able to get this guy set up on field 7, which is 5, 6, 7, and we are. Where are we? That field 7 in there. Yes, it is. Right. So now we should be able to do that. 16 widths, 1 tool, 1 headland, start work in the center, smooth corners, not so much overlap, generate a course. There we go. And I'm happy with that. So we start that job. You want to be first waypoint. Field 7S. Right, now let's see this time if we can get you to load at the liquid fert silo, liquid fertilizer to and then there we go. You should be good. You're on the last headland now, as John just pointed out, so that's coming along nicely. 84%. The other one's going up and down. With any luck, how lucky are we? Let's have a look here. That's not the one I want. That's the one I want. We'll find out. Am I going to be lucky enough to... No, I'm not. So I'm going to have to guess a couple of up and down rows and let him finish the last. Probably 5 or 6, I'd reckon. Because I reckon that's the end of the course there, is it? Let's see here. What I'm looking to see is the best way to get both of them working on this section remaining without running into each other or overlapping. Yeah, so I need him to... I need to sort of move in about... probably third of the distance, given he's half the width. He's going to get to the bottom here and he's going to drive around the other side. It's coming along nicely. Making good progress, doing a few different things today. Next time our grass should be ready to cut, so we will be able to make some hay and get our cows sorted out. We've still got a fair way to go on this headland by the looks. Right, we won't sit and wait for him for the minute. Now what you could do is, whilst I don't think you can operate the planter, we need to fill you up with fuel, but you should be able to drag it across to the field that we want. And pull it out of the shed and fill it up with seed. Just because seed's going to be in the way. Let's see here. Come on, just bump them forward. That'll do. Nice, robust, these seed bags. We're planting corn, which is correct. Let's double check. Don't want to be like Jake and plant the wrong crops in the wrong fields. We are sowing field 3 with corn, then field 58 with corn. So let's put some more in there. Right, pull you out of that. Got the lid. Now fields 58 and 3 are where? 3's up over here, and 58 is quite close by. Let's do 58 first, because we can. I wonder if there's a track through there, or if I've got to drive all the way around 59. Let's go for a look. See ourselves. Haven't been to that part of the map, so we can go and have a bit of a look. Our crops are looking pretty good. Oh, that was the other thing we were going to do, was put a few beehives around our canola too. We'll do that in just a minute. Now, can we get, if we go down that road there, that road there would take us to it. We'll try it. It's going to be up here on our right hand side by the looks. I'm pretty sure this tractor won't pull a horse, but is that? It looks like a driveway to a property. Where's the entrance to the field? Just up here. Just because I'm curious, let's see if this tractor will actually pull it. 8.8 meters. Let's do 3 headlands. Start in the center, generate the course. Where are you going to? Our corner. Another little field. If it will even pull it at all, I'm expecting it to be very slow. The reason we're only going 12 miles across the field is because that's the field crossing speed I've got set, I think. Could probably bump that up. The whisker. No, it's not in there, it's in here. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Turn around and open you up. Four miles an hour and struggling. But we've got a slight incline up there. Oh well, we'll let it puddle away for a bit because the tractor we want to put on it is almost finished. But this is the perfect example. So when these course plays, you know, got a reduced headland, and this sprayer is beautifully just adjusting to the width that it's got to spray. So I was quite impressed by that when I saw it. So this sprayer has definitely been a great pickup for us. It's already made almost its entire value again, so it's paid for itself and then completely in profit now, which is great. It needs a little bit of maintenance. We'll do that when we take it back to the yard. Put some into our favourite. A face full of fertilizer. Very good. So he's got one full headland to go up here. Fuel's powering away. We could use you to take a load of silage across to sell, although I'm not feeling super compelled to do that right at the minute. How's this guy going? Pretty good. Works all right. Be interesting to see if we get any spot spraying from this at the edge or not. Hard to tell when that crops out of the ground a little, but we'll know when we approach an edge up here, I think. So tomorrow morning's stream is in, well, 9.5 hours, is it? 10.5 hours. It's at 7 a.m, whenever that is. It's 20 past 9 now, so 9.5 hours time. And we'll be on Newlands, where we've got pigs for years. We've got canola to harvest. We need to get ourselves a new field. Plenty happening over there too. So you're going to turn into the tree. Good on you. Oh, didn't quite make it. I should have done 2 headlands. Oh, back up. Back up, back up, back up. Probably early enough. Let's do that. So let's kill that course. Do that. Let's do 2 headlands. Generate the course. Escape out of there. Show me the nearest waypoint. Which will be that one there. And off you go. Right. Here we go. There you are, busily up to the point we didn't want you. So now we've got to go and find part of the field that's not been done, which is over in this corner. Sea of blue lines. There we go. So I'm guesstimating that we want to leave him with 2/3 to do, which means we want probably somewhere like about here, maybe. This one on. How's that look? That's sort of like 2/3, 1/3. See what happens. Nearest waypoint. Off you toddle. Turn you off. Slow road to China, but at least it's begun. You have actually got 4% of the field sorted, so that's not too bad. Let's go up to... How's our... He's on his headland. Eight minutes remaining. Oh, cold fingers. Righty-ho. So in terms of the other things that we needed to take care of, don't think we'll be buying that. Nothing in there we want, so we've looked at all of those. Our equipment is in good shape. Fields. So all of the fields, I'm interested to see where corn is being planted. So there's a couple of cornfields going in now. I don't know if we can afford any. Field 69 is probably the only field we could afford at 270,000. That sort of makes sense proximity wise to our farm. If we come up the top near the cow farm, 28's probably a good one for us, given it's right next door or right on our boundary. But he's up at 600, and all of the fields up this end of the map are in that sort of range. So there's a grass field here at 174, field 96, and that's looks like it's heavily loam. So that might be a proposition. Even these fields over here, 34 and 35, are up 250 to 300. So that was part of the logic that I was talking about at the start of the stream that some of you might have missed, where I was speculating out loud as to should we be looking to add land at this point, or would it make more sense to buy some better equipment? For instance, buying a sugar beet harvester, self-propelled one, so that we could tackle one of the several larger sugar beet contracts that are going to be available, because without the equipment we're not going to be able to do those. So that was kind of what I was tossing around with Jason McKinley at the start of the stream, with no real conclusion. We don't have to make a decision on that play until sometime in August, other than the fact that, you know, we need to be getting $500,000 together, whatever we do, whether it be to buy a decent field or buy a harvester. But I think what the contracts are showing is we can reasonably easily, with the effort, generate the funds. It's just a matter of what we want to do. So there's a few directions that are possible. I don't know if any of the folks that have come in since have got any thoughts in that regard, or people that watch the stream on delay afterwards. Feel free to drop your ideas in the comments. Very much crowdsourcing of the decision making here to an extent. But I'm thinking, given the district and the fact that the Cantley sugar mill is part of the map, at some point we need to be getting serious about sugar beet. Whether that's sooner or later, we just see how we go. I think our cow operation will develop fairly steadily, and that just reminded me that's the other thing we need to do, is buy a couple of bags of feed. How long have you got to go? You've still got a little ways to go here, 4% of the field. Let's go, whoops, check on the chickens. a minimum there's going to be some eggs to do something with. So what we're needing is some sort of loader. We could send our little tractor up there and send the truck up with the trailer. So we're getting a bit low on grain. No, they're already underway and eating us out of the place. So what we might do... so you're not running at the same angle. And there's an error on my part. We might leave our Gil Airsome to finish it off and send you back to the yard if that's the case. So you can go back to the yard, my friend. Put you down. A car farm, sell points. Up there at the top, I haven't done that. Putney main yard, that'll do you. So we need you with a set of pallet forks. It's like Cluedo. 240S with the pallet forks in the conservatory. Contract on field 36 is finito. Excelente. Let's pick you up. And you go to... sake. Chicken co-op food will do. Haven't set up many sell points there. Oh, we might have Michelle driving today. Or is it Jude? Now, this is where that trailer is a bit of overkill. But if we turned the trailer that I've got the fuel tank into a bale trailer, we could strap the eggs on there, couldn't we? It's a shame you can't open the rear tailgate of this. I'm pretty sure you can't. No. I don't have any opening options. Let's just check the fuel level in the Gil. Canola. He looks all right. So back you go. You can also go to delivery. Open the tailgate on there. I don't think I can. Let's just... Why are you not disconnecting? There we go. F1. It is open. Open and close isn't doing anything useful for me. J, K. No. So I can't get into that tray, which was my other option. So the only other thing we could do is put a flatbed on that truck we bought earlier, but he's busy spraying for the minute. Let's send you back. And then we can finish that contract off. And that will be a good day's work done. Which road do I need here? I want to turn right. Right here, do I? No, that's a field. The next one. No, that's where I did want to turn right. Oh well, never mind. Looks like we're going to drive round field 38. Just want to check. I do want to go right here. Whoa, I wasn't expecting him to turn. Crash counter +1. Hope that didn't give anybody too much of a fright. Just tootle up here through town. We can try out our new service base. Collect that contract. And should all be good. Go. Unrestricted speed sign just as we get to the gate, so we can go flying into our yard. Handbrake turn into the service bay. Now I've just got to remember where the trigger is. I think it's over here. Oh, there it is. 3,000 bucks on the fence, 1,000 on there. Well, that's what we should put down. Reckon it would make sense. Why don't we dress this up a little bit while we're here? Let's landscape, painting, concrete, alpine, it's asphalt, is there regular concrete? Maybe not. So concrete tiles it is. That's not too bad. Just not quite on the alignment, so we need to go V. Okay. Add there. Oops. Didn't want to go that far. Plants. That'll do for the minute. Now, buildings, tools. Have I got a jet washer in here? We've got a karcher for ridiculous money. A little karcher looks better. Still, there we go. Put the still in. So if we put the still over there, then we can. Wonder if I've got any great. Let's have a look here. Waterstones. I do not. Unless they're under fences. I'd have to find them. Yeah. We'll put a drainage grate across here to tidy that up. But for now, there's one at the entrance to the shop, which is fine. But now we can wash everything up. Give our sprayer a little bit of a touch. Looks a bit better. Looks like we've been working for a living. Yeah, oh, there you go. I'm glad. The notification you might have got, maybe that's for the one tomorrow morning. Oh, Mr. Steele is live. All right. So they're clearly not feeling like they should advertise me while I'm live. So if we now head out there, just as well I don't take that personally. You could get very stressed worrying about all of the stuff YouTube does. We're going to collect that contract. And helps explain why there's not many people came in. If it, I wonder if their tool that does that, it hasn't adjusted for daylight savings. It's kind of curious that that would be coming in just as, because the stream should have finished few minutes ago. It wouldn't surprise me if it was a little hangover of daylight savings. But in any case, it's getting late-ish for me here, given that I'm going to be up and streaming again at 7 o'clock in the morning. We've got a bunch of things done, crawling through that, so we can send the tractor down to take over the corn planting. And we will save the game. We will be back on Friday at 7 AM here on the Oaks, but back in about 9 hours time on Newlands. So until then, thank you very much everybody who's popped in and had a look and said hello. Very much appreciated. Hope you've enjoyed it. And depends if I can set it. Well, so it asks me specifically what time, and it was scheduled for the correct start time here. It's more the notifications I have no control over when it publishes them or how it publishes them. So, but the stream time itself was correct. So very odd, but anyway, it is what it is. I'll be back in a few hours time. Thanks for everyone for watching. Stay safe. See ya.